Well, guys, the time has now come. Another Super Bowl is upon us. And for, once again, every year, except the first one in 2015, I've had to redo my Super Bowl prediction because for the third year in a row, 4 out of the last 5 years, the two teams I thought were going to make the Super Bowl didn't. So now, it's time for my Super Bowl 57 prediction. As the Super Bowl this year is the Chiefs and the Eagles. First time we've had the number 1 seeds play each other in the Super Bowl since 2017. So, how did they get here? Well, the Chiefs, they would face the Jaguars in the divisional round, and they would beat them 27-20. Although they kind of did spank them a little bit, the Jaguars made it a little bit close still. But they made it to the AFC Championship for the 5th year in a row, hosting it too, which I'm starting to wonder if that's a record for the most straight conference championships hosts. 5 in a row? That's insane. And of course, the Chiefs got a big boost too because the Bengals spanked the Bills in the divisional round, so it allowed the Chiefs to host the AFC Championship instead of being in Atlanta, remember, because that's what would happen if the Bills won. So the rematch would be underway when they host the Bengals from last year's divisional round, conference championship, and the game was pretty close throughout. The Bengals, especially Burrow, didn't really play good, but they played tough. But unfortunately, when it mattered most, the Chiefs pulled through, especially that horrible late hit near the end of the game that gave the Chiefs much more needed distance for their field goal. And they would win it 23-20, as the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl for the first time since 2020, trying to win their first title since 2019. So that's the AFC champion. Now, what about the NFC champion? That would be the Eagles. So going into the Super Bowl, not the Super Bowl, the playoffs, I thought the Eagles were one of the best teams in the NFC, but I thought the 49ers were going to probably beat them. But first they had to get past the divisional round, which was the Giants. And going into that game, I thought the Eagles were going to win, but I thought, the Giants rested their starters a few weeks ago when they were playing the last week of the season, and the Eagles were playing their starters to get home field advantage, and they barely beat the Giants. So I was a little bit concerned, especially after the Vikings lost to the Giants, and maybe the Giants could pull off some sort of an upset. But that didn't happen as the Eagles crushed the Giants 38-7 to make it to the NFC Championship for the first time since 2017, where they hosted the 49ers, where I thought it was going to be a close game, but I thought the 49ers were going to get it. And the Eagles destroyed the 49ers 31-7. I know Brock Purdy got injured and pretty much was ineffective for the rest of the game, but I honestly think it wouldn't matter, especially after he kind of played more like a game manager against the Cowboys in the divisional round, and he didn't have any touchdowns whatsoever. The 49ers just got clobbered by the Eagles. There was really no way to get out of it. And the Eagles are in the Super Bowl for the first time since 2017 to win their first title in 5 years. So, what an interesting Super Bowl it's going to be. But now, who do I think would win it? So when it comes to the Super Bowl, I usually look at each team's offense and defense against each other. So for the Chiefs' offense against the Eagles' defense, the Chiefs did have I think they had the number 1 offense for most of the year. They've had the most scoring, the most yards, and the most passing yards. Their rushing offense, however, was pretty weak. I think it was ranked 20th. So it wasn't really that good. But the rest of their offense was really good. But the Eagles' defense, I think it was 8th overall because I looked up Wikipedia earlier to see the stats. I think it's 8th in the league, but their defense is very, very, very strong in terms of sacks and other categories. And I saw, too, how they played against the Giants and 49ers. That defense is scary right now. And remember, Mahomes is injured. He got injured again somewhat against the Bengals, along with the injury he had against the Jaguars. So Mahomes is not even 100%. And he's got to go up against that really strong Eagles defense. As good as the Chiefs' offense is, and I'm sure they can make it a challenge against the Eagles' defense, I think the Eagles' defense is going to have the Chiefs' number probably the majority of the game, especially if Mahomes is injured. He better hope he gets himself fully healed for this game because they're going to need it. Meanwhile, against the Eagles' offense against their Chiefs' defense, the Eagles had a top 5 offense, I believe. So, especially rushing the ball. They have been very good running the ball. They've been really good running the ball, honestly, the last 20, 30 years. They've been, one of the best in the league. So, that's not going to be good for Chiefs because their defense is kind of average somewhat. It's gonna be pretty easy maybe for the Eagles to torch their defense. So unfortunately for the Chiefs, their defense isn't as good. Their offense is elite, but Mahomes is injured and they have no rush offense. Combined with the fact they're going to face the Eagles' really elite defense, I think I'm going to have to pick the Eagles for this one. But of course, we shouldn't underestimate the Chiefs either. After all, they still won in the AFC Championship despite all the injuries that Mahomes had to deal with. So, never underestimate them. But I think I am going to pick the Eagles right now for this one. They have the better defense, and I think their offense is going to be capable to torch the Chiefs' defense. And Mahomes is not in good shape, so I think that's going to hurt them as well. But hey, we'll never know what happens. Last year, I think I predicted the Rams, which I was correct on. 2020, I picked the Chiefs barely, but I was wrong on that one. 2019, I picked the Chiefs. I was right. 2018, I picked the Patriots. I was right. 2017, I picked the Patriots. I was wrong. And 2016, I picked the Patriots. I was correct. And then 2015, I picked the Panthers, which I was wrong on. So I have like a mixed record in that regard. So anyways, I cannot wait. In 2 weeks, will it be the Eagles getting their first title since 2017 and their 5th overall? Or will it be the Chiefs getting their first title since 2019 and their 5th overall? One of these teams is going to move up the ranks a lot in terms of titles. And after so many years of having teams with long droughts, we're going to have a very short one. 5 years or 3 years be broken. Alright, so that's going to wrap it up here. Good luck to the Chiefs and Eagles. I cannot wait for the Super Bowl. And good luck to whoever gets it. And they're going to need it because it's going to probably be tough still. Cannot wait for the Super Bowl.